You know what? I feel like a parent right now. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Um, if I told you the Cubs lost to a team that had never lost a playoff series, would you be that disappointed? Really? The Cubs lose 2-0 and 2-0 in the series to the underdog, bottom feeder Miami Marlins. First off, congrats to the Marlins. You know what? No one's. I said in my preseason video I did pick you guys to finish last in the division, but I said you guys had a lot of great pieces for the future, and I said maybe there's a chance you pass either the Mets or Phillies. Because to be honest, the Mets and Phillies are both jokes of a franchise. But I was like, you know what? They got a lot of great pieces to build around. They're going to be a pretty good team in a little bit. Well, they are way ahead of schedule on their rebuild, and they end up making the playoffs in this wacky format. They do pass the Phillies and the Mets and the Nationals, who just had an awful World Series hangover. They pass both those teams, and they make it to the playoffs. The Cubs win the division because everyone else in the NL Central keeps tripping over themselves. Sounds about right. Even though somehow 4 of them managed to get into the playoffs. I don't know how that happened. Brewers and Reds barely got in. Anyway, it's sort of the Cardinals. Jeez. Anyway, this is not about them. I wish the Marlins the best of luck. I'm probably gonna cheer for them to win the World Series. Them are the. If you guys didn't know, I'm like a closet A's fan. But I kind of want to see the Marlins win it. I do kind of want to see Miami do well. Good luck against the Atlanta Braves. Now, while you're all here, this is not going to be me raging and screaming and yelling like I did last year when the Cubs got swept by the Cardinals and lost. Because, let's be honest, were the Cubs a better team this year than they were last year? Yes. Yes, they were. They, first of all, they made the playoffs. Oh, it's expanded format, pandemic. They would have made the playoffs in a non-expanded format, so you can put that to rest right now. But, so, I mean, I gotta say, for the first time in, I think, ever, the Cubs' strength this year was pitching. Yu Darvish and Kyle Hendricks, each time they pitched, they were both the best player on the field whenever they pitched. They were both fantastic whenever, fantastic whenever they went out. So, I mean, it's just, my biggest issue was, the Cubs have the worst 1 through 4 hitters in the entire league. Okay, that's not a problem. You ever think about maybe the people betting 1 through 4 should be there? I mean, Jesus, how bad was Chris Bryant this year? He was terrible. I mean, some Cubs fans want him traded. I'm not at that point, but man, he was bad. He was not good. Not great at all. Javi Baez didn't have a good year. Really, the only person that led the offense, and I'm really happy he did, was Ian Happ. And he had a terrific year. But down the stretch, there were just games where the Cubs just couldn't hit. And and it came back to bite him in the series, scoring a grand total through 2 games, 1 run. And guess who scored it? Ian Happ on a solo home run. I think this team, they need hitting. And I never thought I'd be saying that, but they need to go out and get a big bat in the offseason. I mean, not necessarily they don't need a Bryce Harper or a Mike Trout. They need like a decent, serviceable hitter that can contribute. Like the Padres went out and got Trent Grisham. Okay? I saw this guy, he was replacing Christian Yelich when he was hurt last year, and he did really well in his absence, but I was like, you know what, he's no Christian Yelich. Brewers don't need him. I turned to the Padres, and guess who he's been better than this year? Christian Yelich! Just a guy like that. I mean, they find someone. I don't really have any players in mind. I don't. But I think I'm just disappointed that they lost in the Marlins. I'm just disappointed. I'm not even mad. They improved from last year. I think that's all you can ask for. But They went from scoring 0 runs in the playoffs to scoring 1 run in the playoffs. I don't know how much of an improvement that is. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. All the teams in the NL Central are going to probably lose. What's it called? The Cardinals are playing the Padres right now. No one is taking control of that game. Brewers got mollywopped by the Dodgers. The Reds didn't score a run against the Braves. I do think the Cubs are going to win the division next year, but they need another big piece. And the bullpen was better this year. That was my main gripe last year, because the bullpen was just awful. Craig Kimbrell needs to go. He needs to go. I don't care if you cut him. I don't care if you have to retain any salary. I'd rather not have him on my team than have him on my team. Ideally, you trade him for like a pretty good hitter. And maybe add one more piece to the lineup and one more piece to the pen. The starting pitching it's honestly the strength of the team, and I never thought I'd say that, but it is. Alec Mills threw a no-hitter. I'm excited to have him back on the team next year. He pitched really well throughout this year, but you know what? I'm still optimistic for next year. I'm not at the point to where I want him to blow it up. I know that's what a lot of people want me to do, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, how come you're not as upset?" It's because you know what? They did better, and you know they're making improvements, and their core is still their core. They were a little underwhelming this year, but you know what? It was a weird pandemic season. And you know what? I think the Cubs are going to be back next year, and we're coming for blood in 2021. Go Cubs.